Hello, guys, it's your boy, Found Popcorn. Founding Popcorn. Found Popcorn 798 here, back with another episode of Mental Health by the Candlelight. And just a got my candle. There you go, guys. Got my candles. Actually, got two more behind my phone here recording. Now, back in the last episode, which was about a month ago, I talked about I'll be talking about my mental health and how it affected me as a child. And I'm sorry it's been a month, by the way, since that last video, but I don't want to rush these types of videos. So I like to take my time with these kind of things, because a lot of these kind of things is going to be hard for me to talk about. So, and that's why I thought, instead of going straight into the mental health and my mental health, my early years, let's talk about what have I got and how it affects me. And then we can go from A to B to C. And I hope, again, like in the previous video, that by watching these videos and the mental health by the candlelight, I hope that you in turn get to learn something from my experience. And if you, of course, want to share something on this section of these videos, feel more than free to comment down below, and we'll talk about them in the upcoming videos to come as well. And I hope that this section of the channel here can be a little scapegoat for anyone who just needs to get something off their chest to make them feel themselves feel better. No nasty comments, no nothing like that. So with that being said, grab your drink, grab your smoke, whatever you need to get whatever you need off your chest. I've got my smoke. I'm going to be smoking that off camera. Obviously, I don't want to smoke on YouTube. But feel free to grab yourself a cigarette, a drink, whatever you fancy, and let's get going. Now, my mental health began when I was a little nipper, and I was diagnosed when I was about 3 or 4, I believe, with ADHD. And ADHD affects me with it's attention hyperactive deficit disorder, or something like that. And well, it's pretty much what it says in the title. I am hyperactive a lot of the time. I speak at 1,000,000 miles per hour. I usually say what's on my mind before I have a chance to think about it. So thinking, or trying to think, how I say thinking is hard. Trying to think of coherent sentences and the right words can be a challenge quite a lot of the time. I can, for example, also have a full day planned. I mean, have a full booked day. I mean, I'll have to go out to the doctors, and then I'll have to go shopping, and then clean my house or whatever. And then I'll accidentally sit on the sofa just to look at my phone, and then 5 hours would have gone past because I've zoned out into little Cameron bubble zone. So it can be quite annoying and a challenge to handle at times, especially the speaking instead of thinking and listening. That bit is really quite hard at times, more of that bit than all the other stuff. I don't really get hyperactive more so nowadays. More as a kid I did, but nowadays it's more the, like I said, stopping, speaking and listening and finding my words before I actually say them. Because like I said, I will have a habit of saying all sorts of things that I'm thinking, and at times I won't even know that I've said the wrong thing on top of that. I might say, for example, now I do know that this is wrong, but I'm just using this as an example. I might call someone the W word, I don't know, the W word, and not realise that I've said it, or I have said it, but not realise that it's a bad word, and I've offended that person from saying something that I would not realise that I've said in the first place, or something I've said, but I don't know what it actually really means, or I think it means something else. So it's really rather frustrating, the ADHD and that side of the fun, honestly. But it's getting a little bit better as I'm getting older now, and now I'm approaching my 30s and whatnot. Um, but it's still rather quite a big challenge, honestly. Now, I was also diagnosed with about a couple of years later after this ODD, open defiance disorder. Basically, it's what it pretty much says on the tin there. I don't like standing for rules, and I don't like standing for orders. I argue and fight back. I've got anger. And that was a really big challenge in my early life to deal with, especially with the family. And my dad would give me like some simple task to do, I mean, clean the dishes or something. I mean, which is a very simple task to do. But I'd argue and fight every step of the way and thinking that I would know better. I go, no, 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 I can't do this, I want to do this, blah, 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 blah. Every excuse under the sun. My dad would shout and scream. And it was just a simple task, but for whatever reason, I just would not do it unless I wanted to do it. And I couldn't take medication for it because I was taking medication for ADHD, and I still can't take medication for it because, again, I'm taking medication for ADHD. I can take one or the other because apparently they clash or something. That's what one of the doctors said a long time ago. So I just can't take them. So having to manage that one without medication has been a rather challenging front, to be honest with you. More of the teenagers and latter in younger years of my 20s, I struggled with that one personally. But as I've grown older, I've started to get ahead on that one personally. That is my own opinion, at least. I could be wrong from other people's perspective, but in my own opinion, I believe I've gotten better, or at least I hope I have. Now, I also suffer with learning difficulties. Now, learning difficulties has really kind of affected me quite a lot in my life, actually. Not so much now, honestly, but a lot in my younger years. A lot of people would bully me and treat me differently, all because of my learning difficulty. I get beaten up by everyone. Literally, I would, and not a nice experience. And yeah, mate, it's hard to explain what it is. It's like I could have someone explain that to me. I mean that I don't know that England and America and the Allies won World War II 20 times. You could tell me that, but I will still not understand or not get that. It's hard to explain, but it has affected me more on the front of bullying. On the learning side, I did struggle with it, with learning. Sometimes it'd take me a while to, I guess, pick things up. Reading, I still struggle with, honestly. I mean, it takes me ages to read a book. I mean, whereas my brother finished the first Harry Potter book in like a day, it took me six months to read it when I got to his age when he first read it. And so I'm a very slow reader. That's because I don't understand words and I have trouble. It's more the word side of things I struggle with. More again laying in with my ADHD. The words, I don't know why. I don't know why I say them, or I say a lot that see I don't even know. I say a lot of the wrong things, and I try and rush things that I'm trying to say because I've got so much to say, and that kind of plays in with my learning difficulties as well. Now that was all I was really suffering with for quite a while throughout my kid years and teenage years. That's all I was really suffering with. I did go to the doctors about autism and anxiety, but they said I didn't have it. We went several times, but they kept saying I didn't. But I was recently diagnosed, and I do actually have it. So I got misdiagnosed. I do have had that, and I've had to combat that my entire life without medication or understanding about it. I don't even know how to what it even does properly even now. I know if my fiance has it. She says that you see things differently or something. And I guess that would explain personally all my other illnesses like my ADHD and I speak too fast and I say my own thing, and now I see things different, and that kind of would make sense. But I don't know if there's more to it. What else does it mean? I don't know personally. I'm still trying to learn that. I've only recently been diagnosed that along with autism. Is that autism and anxiety? Yeah, anxiety and autism. Yeah. So I was recently diagnosed with that as in literally the last few months. And so they're not. So I don't know how they've been affecting me because I've only recently known I've had them. I mean, I've always thought I've had them, and so has my family. But it was only recently that I got diagnosed. So, but moving on from that, I've also got PTSD, which I've also was recently diagnosed with, and that really does affect me. I was diagnosed with that at the same time as my autism and that anxiety. And it really is a hard one to deal with. I really do suffer with this. If you've seen my reaction to Sabaton's PTSD music video, it's one of my Sabaton list. It's kind of like that. I mean, I didn't go through what he went through. I went through lots of different stuff, which I will be talking about in the course of the next dozen videos. But it affects me in a way. For me personally, I'll be fine 1 second. I'll be happy as Larry. I'll be giggling with my girl, watching movies, playing games, having a drink, or whatever I'm doing at the time, making YouTube videos, going out for whatever it is. And then I'll see my worst memory go before my eyes. Not just then my worst memory, it's my entire life. So the things that's what I've been through go before my eyes, and I can not just see them. It feels like I'm actually there. I can feel like I'm being hit, or one of the people that used to hit me, or being called, or I feel like I'm there at that moment. But at the same time, I'm aware that I'm not there. If that makes sense. I get night tremors. My nightmares are freaking horrific. So I mean, it's better a little bit than it was, but some days are worse than others. So, um, you know, it's a battle. Honestly, it's a fight every day, and my mind cracked. I won't lie to you, it cracked recently, and I did really struggle not to do it. I did try to do it the other couple like months ago. I just had enough, and it's not the first time I've tried either. That's sad, but it wasn't until I saw a music video called High Rain that really changed me. Actually, I've been really trying ever since. So it's about my last what attempt was about August, I'd say. Yeah, so a good few months, but my mind cracked, and I was in a horrible place and horrible location, horrible people. The only person that I knew that was right next to me that was really lovely and nice was my other half. We were going through it together, but it wasn't for her. I would have gone. It was, yeah. So it's affected me. It really has. Every day is a fight. And I'm doing better every day this year. I swore to do something new, something different, something fresh to get myself better. While it's been struggles that most of those days, I have tried, and that's what it's all about. I think as long as you try, that's all you can do. So yeah. Next is my depression. Now, I was diagnosed with that when I was about 20 years old. I was diagnosed with that when I was about 17 years old. Came out recently out of Dover and moved back in with my nan. Yeah, with my no. I moved. No. I moved. Sorry, sorry. My mental health is so bad. I can't even remember most of my own life, guys. That's how bad my mental health is. No, sorry. I was living with my mum and my brother back in Northfleet. It's a little bit off Gravesend, on a little housing estate called Shepherd's Street. Sorry, my slippers come off. It's all flats and houses. Horrible location. Honestly, it really was. Every day you'd hear like 20 odd sirens. I'm not even joking. Whether that's ambulance or police, it was a nightmare. People constantly downstairs partying up until 3 a.m. with their boom boxes, and I do literally mean boom boxes. It was ridiculous. And swearing and effing at us, and I couldn't always afford food, so I lost weight and all sorts of things. And when I moved in with my grandparents when I was about 16 and 17, all the stuff I've been through my entire life, it just caught up with me. I just cracked. It was my first crack. And yeah, I went to the doctors, and short story short, I was diagnosed with depression, which I still have. It has gotten a lot worse over the years with a lot worse things that I've been through, the more things I've been through. And at times, it's not easy to wake up in the morning and want to even shower. I know that's stupid, but it's the truth. You don't want to do things. And that, people will say, oh, you're being lazy. No, it's not about laziness. It's about self-worth. You don't think you're worthy or of it, or of a simple wash, let alone having a job or having a girlfriend or YouTube channel, which I don't understand why 218 of you lovely people have subscribed. I don't get that. It's about not wanting to do it because you don't see any worth in you. You don't see the point. You hate yourself even. You are your own worst enemy. So why would you want to look after yourself? I mean, at the end of the day, let's put it this way: your enemy. You want the person you hate at work, or if it's at school, you want to feed them Chinese food, or take them to the cinema, or say nice things to them. You're going to want to be horrible to them, or ignore them, or whatever you personally do. And that's kind of the same representation for depression, but a lot more deeper and personal. You don't want to take care of yourself. You don't want to eat. You don't want to drink really, or talk to people, or self-improve your life because you don't think you're worthy of that. And it is a challenge every day just to try and even have a wash. And I won't lie, before in the past, I have gone weeks when I haven't, because it's like, what's the point? No one's going to like me. No one's going to think of not anything nice of me. Blah, 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 blah. Now I do wash up. My fiance really has helped me with my mental health. Not just that, but being around my family again, and finally finding my faith in Norse paganism, and finally having someone reach through to me like Ren in that music video really has helped me. Put a nail in their head with the depression. I'm still combating it, trying to understand me and how I am and how I work. And it's not easy to try and face that, because all I've done for many years is try and run from it and hide from it and put a lid on it, but now I'm trying to face it head on and realise that I am my own personal demon, and it's not easy. And I'm trying to fight that, and I'm doing everything I can at the moment. And so yeah. Now the last thing I really suffer with is the spinal deformity, and it's a bit of a B, honestly. I got that again when I was about 17, along with my depression, but shortly afterwards, well, I say shortly, about half a year, about a year after, so about 18, I got it. And it was my own personal fault. I was stupid, honestly. You know how some 18-year-olds are, they want to try new things, they press their friends. Well, with me, I didn't have any friends for the longest time. I mean, at all. Up until recently, I'm not ashamed to admit that, up until when I was 20, 21, I didn't have any friends. I had friends who wanted to use me and everything I had for worth, but I didn't have any friends. And for people that I knew, I wanted to try and impress and make myself look like a big man in front of them, and didn't want myself to look like a fool and an idiot. And passing around these narcotics, these drugs, and we're having a few drinks. We're sitting on a 30, 35, 40-foot wall, no bigger than that. And I'm being sure we were getting wasted, just talking about good times, having a bit of music on, you know, it is when you're 17 and that age, with friends and whatnot, you want to impress them. And I was being sure we drunk too many drinks, had too many of the old puff, and I fell off. I don't even remember falling off personally. Last thing I remember was me waking up in an ambulance, me freaking the hell out, because last thing I remember was having a few drinks at the wall and having a laugh. I was laughing about something, and I turned over, an ambulance strapped down, and I'm freaking out with these things around me. And apparently, the ambulance had nearly pulled over and called up cops to try and do something to I don't know, I can't really remember. It's really kind of a blur, honestly. But I fell back unconscious naturally, either via sedation or me just falling unconscious. And then I'm waking up in the hospital several hours later with my friend Ryan by my side. They've pumped my stomach, and they asked me about my back. I lied about it. I won't lie, but I said I'm fine. I don't want any X-rays or anything like that, because I'm honestly terrified of hospitals. It's one of my fears. So they discharged me, and they did urge me to go to the doctors to have it looked at as soon as, which I didn't. I left it for about a year, about a year and a half. I went there when I was at the doctor when I was about 19. So about a year and a half later, just after I worked for my job before in Veolia, because my back was so bad that I couldn't do my job properly at all. Couldn't keep up with people that were my age and younger than me, and I was only 19. You know, so I went to the doctors, and I went and then had X-rays, and basically my back is a pretzel. It's like an S, kind of like that. Sorry, that's my cigarette. So kind of like that on my lower back and on my upper back and my neck bit there. So kind of like a pretzel S thing. So not very pleasant. Some days it's very hard to get up, and as I've got older, it's gotten worse. And they can't do anything. Not until I'm older, anyway. Not until I'm 32, because as I got told many years ago, I don't know if that's the case now. I haven't honestly gone up to check really, because like I said, I'm terrified of doctors, and surgery is absolutely a terrifying thing, honestly. Whoa, no. I want to try and delay it as much as I possibly can, honestly. But I got told at the time that I've got to be a lot older for it because of the spine is constantly growing. It's one of the few things that's apparently keeps growing. I don't know. That's what I was told. I could have misheard. That's the way it always is with me. I mishear and hear what I want to hear. But so I could be wrong about that bit. But I do know that I couldn't have it because I was too young. I do know that. Which I was thankful for, honestly, when I was complaining, but it has proved quite a lot of problems throughout the years. I mean, at times I can't even lift the TV up. I mean, it's stupid, I know. But that's just the way my back is. It's silly. I mean, I'm trying to strengthen it now to try and improve it and whatnot. But no. So basically, that's the list of my mental illnesses and my physical illness as well, and how they affect me, or a brief summary of how they affect me at least. Well, it's not easy. Day to day, I struggle trying to put my past into perspective and slow down once in a while, and instead of rushing around and speaking at a million miles an hour, try to take a chill pill and stop, look and listen once in a while. It's very, very hard. Combine that with my depression when I think things 100 times, it's just, I think overdrives. And when you combine that with depression and you're thinking about all the worst things that can happen to you at a million miles per hour, it's not a nice thing. It really, really, and that's constant. It's not, it doesn't stop, it's constant. It's a million and one things you're thinking about at the one time. It doesn't stop. And I mean, when I'm asleep, I'm fidgeting. I mean, the last week and a half, I've got, bless my girl, I've pulled the cover off her completely because of how much I've been fidgeting, and to the point where she's pulled on a blanket on her, sadly, or at least, well, several blankets, because of how much I fidget. And I mean, last night I threw the cover just completely off the floor for both of us. So it is a challenge, even when I'm asleep, with my ADHD, with my illnesses. Like I said, with my PTSD, I'm having nightmares, and when I'm awake, I'm reliving some of my worst memories, and not just reliving them, but feel like really, that is a horrible experience, guys. And I'm now really trying to move on from that and put my best foot forward. So I hope that has explained my illnesses in this second part to the candlelight, mental health by the candlelight. In the coming episodes, I will talk about my younger years and how that affected me, and what it's about, my own personal perspective. So yeah, that's all I can really talk about that without saying too much about it. In this video, I've rambled on for almost 30 minutes now. So thank you to anyone who's still listening at this point of the video. Now, if you've got anything you want to talk about yourself, let me know down below, and we'll talk about it in the next video. Yeah, and until then, stay popping, stay fresh. Ciao for now.